Hello guys, this is Susil. Let's talk about today's newspaper, the Hindu newspaper. So let's go to Google, type the Hindu and select today's paper. In the front page, the first link says that past Panchayat Raj Ministry on verge of closure. And it says after facing a massive budget cut last year, the future of Panchayat Raj Ministry continues to lose bleak. After BJP government shuttered two of its key programs, the Backward Region Grant Funds, that is BRGF, and the Rajiv Gandhi Panchayat Sashaktikarana Abhiyan, that is RGPCA, several officials at the ministry feel it would soon be closed down and turned into department under the Ministry of Rural Development. A senior official at ministry told the Hindu that Panchayat Raj Minister Chaudhry Birendra Singh was not making any effort to rescue ministry from dissolution because he also head of the Rural Development Ministry. The government is turning the ministry irrelevant so that no one question it when they shut down it, a senior official said. Last year, the budget cut from rupees 7,000 crores to rupees 96 crores left such an impact on ministry that it lost confidence in empowering panchayat nationwide. Our role has been reduced and we are more like an advisory and advocacy group, said another official at the ministry wishing not to be named. After the budget sequestration, the official said it was Dr. S.M. Vijayananda, then secretary at the Panchayat Raj Ministry, who battled his way through the finance ministry and managed to rescue some elements of RGPSA on the condition that it will be renamed Rashtriya Gram Swaraj Abhiyan RGSA. This year, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley allotted a rupees of 655 crores to RGSA, that is Rashtriya Gram Swaraj Abhiyan. The next segment is about India's first woman Uber driver found dead. Two years ago, Bharati Virtha became the first woman in India to partner with cab aggregator Uber and left a lasting impression on thousands of passengers with her positive attitude of life. But in a tragic end to a tale of inspiration, Mrs. Virtha, 40, was found dead under mysterious circumstances in her Sanjay Nagar residence on Monday. While neighbors remember her for her cheerful disposition and close friends and her sister said that Mr. Virata had been battling depression. Her sister and Sarla told the police that her depression had been triggered by the death of her parents a few years ago. While the police suspect it could be a case of suicide, the absence of a suicide note has led them to probe all possibilities. Mrs. Birta, who had also taken up causes of sexuality minorities, had challenged stereotype as many label according to those who knew her. LGBT activists remember her as a woman who has not afraid to fight conventional social mores. She was a brave woman who fought many odds to become a taxi driver, said Manohar Elavarthi, member of Sangam, a Bangalore-based NGO from the LGBT community where Mrs. Virta was a volunteer prior to becoming a taxi driver. A native of Prakasam district in Andhra Pradesh, Mr. Virta had been living in Bangalore for many years where she rented a house in Nagastathali, Sanjay Nagar. News of her success as a driver partner had spread far and wide, and banks were willing to offer loans to her to the purchase of new vehicles. The next segment is about recovery of rupees 29,000 crore rail freight dues stalled. The recovery over 29,000 crore by railways of freight evading iron ore exporters who were feeding the global frenzy for steel during the boom period in plundering sources in the railways and other agencies who have investigated humongous scandal. The key investigator who exposed the scandal in the Southeastern Railway have all dispersed from the task, and the latest being the principal investigation officer. The only hope for the recovery that could dramatically turn around the fortune of the railways now hinges on the Supreme Court, a key official in the railway board told the Hindu. The development come even as a railway have withdrawn the higher freight charges iron ore exporter had to pay under the policy 2008. According to sources, Railway on May 9 issued a freight rate circular abolishing the dual freight policy in iron ore transportation 8 years after it was implemented. According to the new circular, the exporter would now only pay the same fare for exporting iron ore out of India as those for domestic manufacturers who use ore to make steel within the country. A CAG audit report tabled in May 2015 estimated that the railways would recover a rupees 29,236.77 crore from the exporter who transport iron ore made for export on freight charges made for domestic consumption movement, and the lost estimated were for the period May 2008 up to September 2013. The next segment is about the grand reception of grandiose surrounding. When the lights of the beautiful Ambavilas Palace turned on, the royal couple Yudhvir Krishnadatta Chamaraj Vadiyar and the Trishika Kumari made their grand appearance before a 2,500 plus audience at the striking Darbar Hall here on Tuesday evening. Members of royal families from Rajasthan, Gujarat, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh BVIPs and bureaucrats and foreign guests, close relatives and friends of erstwhile Vadiyar royal family and politicians were among those who sat in the hall and in the balconies. The couple sat on the two-seater silver couch and exchanged garland, and a few in audience greeted them and due acknowledged them with a smile. The guest greeted Yudhvir mothers Pramoda Devi Vadiyar, who was seated beside the portrait of the late Sri Kantadatta Narsimha Raj Vadiyar. A few minutes later, a couple sprang a surprise as they made their way towards the guests, who were delighted to see them at such close quarters. It was totally unexpected. We thought of going a couple to greet them, but they came to us. It was most cherishing moment for us. The next segment is the declining power of Babel. Nearly 300 languages have gone extincted in the country since the time of independence. Close to 800 languages and delegates existed across the India according to the People's Linguistic Survey of India, the independent study conducted by the Bhasha Research Center and NGO under the leadership of Sahitya Academy award-winning writer Dr. G.N. Devi. Reviewing the findings of the 4-year survey from began in 2010 involving 300 scholars, research and historians, Dr. Devi suggests supports from the linguistic cities just as smart cities. Bhasha language count include all those in currency irrespective of the number of users. What makes PLSI findings unique is that Census of India survey found close to 1600 languages is in use in 1961, 108 in 1971, 122 in 2011. Those spoken by less than 10,000 people were excluded after 1961. The UN Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization has been conducting two and found there are 197 endangered languages in India and with 42 classified as critically endangered, including in the list of Nihali traced to the pre-Aryan and pre-Munda period. The next segment is about a 13 minor gone girls rescued. 13 minor girls belonging to the Gond tribe of Chhattisgarh who were being illegally transported to Tamil Nadu for some work were rescued by an NGO at the railway station here. When the volunteers of the NGO Sathi intercepted the group, the person who was escorting them fled according to Vijayawada Child Welfare Committee Chairman B. Nagesh. All the girls were below 15, never attended school and were not aware of their destination. Sathi program coordination Shiv Kumar and outreach worker of the organization handed them over the government railway policy, that is GRP, and they were later produced before the CWC on a Tuesday. Based on the information provided by the girls, but the NGO representatives traced the parents, and some of them were making efforts to reunite them with their family. The next segment is High Court issued guidelines for school fee norms enforcement. Knowing that the children and their parents are knocking on the doors of the court every year over the issue of excess fee and the denial of admission by the private school, the Karnataka High Court on Monday issued a series of guidelines for the both state education authorities and the private school for effective implementation of the fee regulation norms. As per the guidelines, every recognized private education institute should prominently display fee details on the notice board every year and furnish the details of jurisdictional Deputy Director of Public Instruction DDPI. Justice Arvind Kumar issued the direction while the partly allowing petition filed by some students who have questioned action of some private primary schools in Bengaluru city denying admission to them to the higher classes of non-payment prescribed fee as they termed as excess. The next segment is about 4 houses swept away, 10 facing threat. At least 4 houses have been washed away and another 10 are under the threat of being swallowed by the Arabian Sea, which has turned violent since 3 days in Ula Somaswar area of south of Mangaluru. The locality bordering Kerala have been witnessing frequent season erosion for about a decade, and many houses have already been washed away since then. The time around the sea erosion is being extensively reported on about a 2.2 km seafront between the Batpadi and Someswara, where at least 4 houses have completely been damaged and another 10 at Uchila in the stretch are facing a threat, said Assistant Executive Engineer Public Works, Port and Inland Water Transportation Department Prakash S. Doli. Mr. Doli said the Hindu that the first report of erosion was made in the afternoon of June 25 and upon inspection of the area the need of immediate prevention measure was felt. A report was made to the district administration again on Tuesday. A joint inspection was carried out by Mangalore Sub-Division Assistant Commissioner Ashok and Executive Engineer Department of T.S. Rathod, he said. The engineer said that though the department could have undertaken the prevention action, it is in the dilemma as the impact areas comes under the Asian Development Bank funded sea erosion prevention project. As such of the department has get specific direction of the government to take up the immediate works. The next segment is about the Gujarat court refuses to ban satire on Modi. The Ahmedabad Civil Court has dismissed a suit filed to seek a ban on Gujarati satirical book Phekuji Hab Delhi mein. Phekuji is now in Delhi, which mocks the tall promise and claims Prime Minister Narendra Modi made during his campaigning for 2014 parliamentary election. During parliamentary election, opponents of Mr. Modi called him Feku while deriding his claims. Personal opinion: the court held that Luke contains the personal opinion of its author Jayesh Shah on banning it would violate his right to freedom of expression. Petitioner Narsini Bhai Solanki contended that the book offended and hurt his sentimented and its derogatory title also defamed Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The next segment is Patil 6 rupees 100 crore to Gadak's RDPR University. Rural Development and Panchayat Raj Minister H.K. Patil has appealed the Union government to the extent of 100 crore financial assistance for the establishment of a University of Rural Development and Panchayat Raj. According to the release, the minister made this appeal at the workshop organized for Rural Development Panchayat Raj Ministry for all seats and Vigyan Vibhag in New Delhi on Tuesday. Speaking at the workshop, Mr. Patil said that his department has done significant work in the field of rural development, hygiene and community health, and the university was being established in Gadag to conduct further studies, research and training in the field. Mr. Patil said that based on the recommendation of an expert committee led by the S.B. Raghunath, schools and postgraduate course would be started and MPhil doctoral degree would be awarded by the university. 350 acres identified. As much as 353 acres of the land have been identified. The Gadak and initial grant of rupees 15 crore earmarked. The Assembly had passed the Karnataka Rural Development Panchayat Raj Bill and Legislative Council is yet to give the approval of the bill, he said. Mr. Patil is also listed out the various initiatives taken by the department and including 33 different programs meant to be facilitated rural development. And the next segment is about KCR writes to Rajnath over the High Court bifurcation. Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao on Tuesday urged Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh to see to it that the centre expedites the process of bifurcation of High Court here. Apart from the issuing and appropriation notification for taking off an exercise of dividing and allocating judicial officers and staff only after the High Court of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh start functioning separately. The next segment is about monsoon. Dark and deep, thick clouds hover over Visakhapatnam on Tuesday with south-west monsoon active over coastal Andhra Pradesh. Photo by K.R. Deepak. Thanks for watching this. Please subscribe and share.